everybody, and welcome back to the Grid. We're here today with our guest co-host, owner of Another Round. We have Sir Randy Ealy.
United by the Queen herself.
You know. Anyway, so yeah, we have Sir Randy Ealy here. Again, owner and founder of Another Round. How's it going, brethren?
It's going great, sister.
And this really is my brother from the same mother.
Same one.
Thanks for joining us.
The same 5'1" mother.
Two.
It's great to be here. She's 5'2".
I met her before. She's pretty cool.
Okay.
I know, right? So he's here to join us with our topic today: relationships versus situationships. Because you know it's getting cold. Got cuddle season coming up. Have
Big
you
boy
seen
season.
Know how y'all get.
Big boy.
You know how y'all get.
Right.
Yeah,
Submit
big
your
boy season,
applications. No. Anywho.
The
But
draft
he's
is over. Y'all about to start getting picked.
I mean, I don't know. Anywho, he's here to discuss that later on today. But before we get into all of that, y'all, what's been up?
So, I started dance lessons.
Okay.
Okay,
Did
so yes. I have this thing where I cannot stay consistent with exercising or working out, whatever. So I'm like, let me find something fun to do.
Yeah.
Try Zumba.
Do like
I heard that was fun.
You know what? I didn't try Zumba, but
Zumba.
I should have. I thought about
It's
Zumba.
dancing. It's working out.
Yeah, I thought about Zumba. I might try it, but
Okay.
you know, I'm trying to get my feet wet. I'm not really a dancer, so I had went to my first lesson. It was pretty
Okay,
dope.
cool.
Sweet.
They had me on the floor.
Okay, on the floor. Was you
I couldn't
doing a
get
crybaby?
up. You heard I couldn't get up.
Right. Well, you know, you gotta work your way.
It was a
up.
struggle. I've been practicing.
Okay.
I can't wait till next week.
Well, yeah. So what's been up with me is just getting it together, working. I got some things coming up, and I'll let you know. Tune in.
Working
Working hard.
hard.
Definitely working hard. But so what's been going on with you, sir?
Putting a lot of stuff in Another Round, beefing up our staff. My wife just became a bartender herself.
Okay.
She's a great mixologist. So we'll be a husband and wife team, getting people rather nicely toasty at their holiday parties, birthday parties, or just because you just want to have people over and have a great time.
Party. You
Yeah,
know?
party.
Now it's the
Yeah.
y'all partying, huh?
Yeah, party.
So yeah.
You want to drink? You want to drink?
So
Right.
speaking of, I do have something what's been up. I know y'all seen the memes where it's like the double meaning. Okay, so I know everybody kind of speaks like that, but where is that? How did that resurface? Where you see it, where it's like, oh, you caught.
That one where it's like when a girl asks you for $400 instead of $40, oh, we help.
Right. Okay.
But I don't even know where it came from.
I don't know,
But when I say I've been like laughing this whole entire week because of that.
Every single one. It's so funny. But anyway, so that's what's been going up on social media.
Look, I walked outside yesterday. I was like, oh, it's cold.
right. Oh, it's fall. Okay, first
like,
day.
It's cold today. Look.
Right. So going into the interview, Randy, how did you start your company?
Well, it's very simple. Woke up. It's like, you know what? I should start bartending on my own.
Okay.
That's really how it is.
Okay.
So I spent a little time drafting up logo designs,
Mhm.
and then after a while, I finally got to one where I actually liked, and went from there.
Okay, cool. Another Round. I know it's kind of like a play on words for like what you're doing.
Brand and familiarity is what it is. That's why it's called Another Round.
Mm-hmm.
So every time you go to a bar and order another round, you think of me, kind of like the king, not with the trash though.
Stupid.
That's like the perfect branding name, seriously, because I always want another round.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
That's why it's called Another Round.
Right. Coin it. Make people pay you.
Seriously.
But tell us just how you got into bartending initially.
Well, when I was about to leave Rhode Island to go to Chicago, I was unsure of actually where I was going to work. So I decided to take a bartending class, and that's how I got started bartending.
So how was that? Like, did you have fun, or was it easy?
During the class?
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool. We had to learn, what was it? Close to 200 recipes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went to bartending class, and I was like, overwhelmed. There was a lot of recipes, but
There's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. And I was thinking, like, are we gonna even use all these?
No, you don't.
You don't? Okay,
No.
that's what I
Not
kind
even
of
close.
figured that.
So what's the percentage you'll say of the recipes? I mean,
20%.
Oh, okay. Well, still go because you got to be licensed or
20%.
whatever, certified. But
The one drink that you'll learn that you're going to forget the most is a kamikaze.
Why is that? Like,
I don't know why. It's the one drink that everybody forgets. It's vodka. See, vodka, triple sec, and Rose's Lime. It's the easiest drink, but every single bartender will get stumped and be like, man, what is in this drink? Okay.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I remember that. The easiest ones to me was the Collins drinks.
Yeah.
Like John Collins and all that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Phil Collins.
Yeah.
All of
Like,
that.
Only because they were names, like people names,
yeah.
and it just all was Collins drinks.
Yeah,
But
I recently found out I was making fuzzy navel the wrong way.
Really?
Yeah. It's supposed to be peach schnapps and orange juice. I do vodka, peach schnapps, and orange juice.
Oh,
No,
so you just add a little tinge on it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a heavy pourer.
And I made Long Island's the wrong way. Regular Long Island's are just made with rum, vodka, and gin.
So what do you do?
Rum, vodka, gin, tequila.
So I'm sure they love you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, like you make it the wrong way. No, keep on.
but
That's
keep
the
going.
new way.
Add
Call it
to
2.0. Long Island. Look. Okay.
I know who to come to.
Right, that part. So I know you definitely encounter a lot of different people, and I'm sure you see a lot of different scenarios. So tell us, like, what's one of the craziest stories or scenarios that you've seen?
Well, not necessarily a crazy scenario, but since I'm here, I might as well inform the public. It's a public service announcement to you that are out there. When you go to a bar, now you approach your bartender and you say light ice on your beverage. Light ice, ladies and gentlemen, does not mean more liquor. Unless you order a double or triple. If you say no ice and I pour your liquor and whatever additive you may want, it's going to look terrible because there's no ice. If you want it to be bigger, order more liquor.
Well, people, I guess they don't want it to like water down, or does that even?
The only thing that waters down the drink is the length of time that you take to drink it.
Okay, learn you. Let me get my notes out. Like, okay, so length of time. No,
there you have it. Drink fast.
Right. Order more.
Well, here's the thing. If you sit there with a drink for 45 minutes, of course it's going to be watered down.
I mean, yeah, who's sitting there with 45-minute drink?
Old people.
Okay, so name your top 5 funniest, craziest customers.
It's like the old players that come in, you know, they're on a Friday night sometimes, they come in, they got the Stacey Adams on,
Not the Stacey
you know,
Adams.
the Dobb hats, you know, half a bottle of cologne, trying to get some young tender, they shaking their chains in their pocket like, hey, let me buy you a drink, you know. Those are my favorite because, you know, they always complain. You got the young white kids who want to credit card you to death.
Credit card.
They want to use a debit card for $3.
Okay.
Every single time.
Nobody carries cash though.
That's
cash
fine.
out?
It's called run a tab.
Oh, they'll keep giving it to you,
Just
not
keep
just
giving it
leave
to you.
it.
Like,
Okay.
oh, I don't want to leave my card. Like, well, you need to learn how to have a good time.
Yeah, that part. Okay.
You can't leave your card at the bar and remember to get it. You're doing entirely too much.
Yeah, that is something.
It is.
So remember, guys, run up a tab.
Yes.
Especially if I'm around.
Pay once and tip once and leave.
Okay.
And then there's the girl. There's this particular one has a subcategory.
Okay.
You know, there's the girl that sits at the bar that wants everybody to buy her stuff.
Okay.
But then it breaks down to the older woman who
Breaks down.
Yeah, it's the lady who used to be something but's not anymore.
Oh.
And then there's the young girl who's trying to be something but clearly isn't.
So we got kind of like a future and present
Yeah,
or something?
you got Ghost of Christmas
past
Past,
and
and Ghost of Christmas
future.
Future.
Okay, past and future. One line. At the bar. You never know.
You know, so these two people, you know, the older lady, she'll sit there, you know, she'll buy off the happy hour menu twice.
Okay.
And sit there with her 2 drinks until the crowd builds up. And all the old players who remember her back when, they'll start to buy her drinks and stuff, and it's like, all right, fine. But then you got the young girl who's trying to be something who's not quite there yet. She wants to drink all the alleged top shelf stuff.
Okay.
So it's like the old players or the young dummies come up and try to impress her when all she wants to do is have a drink because she can't really buy her own beverages.
Why should she?
Look.
Now, here's another announcement for you guys out there that want to buy drinks for young ladies. Now, when you go to the bar, fellas, and there's a girl at that bar that you think that you want to be with, or you just want to talk to, you're buying her drinks all night, be sure to tip the bartender. Because if you have a $98 bill and you give the bartender $100 and say, keep the change, you just made yourself look stupid. Which is why you should never spend your rent money on party night.
I can't. So we got, people going to bankrupt. You got reunions going on.
It's a lot of stuff,
It's
man.
very interesting stories, which I'm sure, is something that can be quite fun and festive. So, is there ever a downtime being, a bartender, mixologist, where it's just like nothing going on?
Yeah. Some parties are better than others. Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Not really taking much home, because obviously if it's a downtime, then you're not really taking much money home. Like, how often does that happen?
It ebbs and flows,
Okay.
And anybody that's been in this industry long enough knows the time of year where it picks up and then the time of year where it's slow.
What time of year is that?
So you got September is typically slow. October is typically slow. And then you got from Halloween to New Year's, that is pretty busy because obviously Halloween party. You've got holiday parties happening in November, and then Christmas parties, and then New Year's Eve. January, February is typically slow because, here in Detroit, it's 1,000 feet of snow outside.
Right.
Nobody's coming out.
No.
March, you've got St. Patrick's Day, which is the unofficial beginning of summer.
Yeah.
And then from St. Patty's Day all the way to Labor Day, it's pretty busy season.
Okay. So I need to be getting a second job around around this time coming up.
You could. You very well could.
Are you hiring?
I'm not at the time.
So with another round, what all do you all offer?
We offer a premier bartending service. It's a mobile bartending service. So whatever event that you're having, whether it be a wedding, holiday party, like I said, you just want to have a small gathering to get together, we can provide you drinks tailored to your crowd.
Okay.
Very professional service.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. We try.
That's pretty cool. So do you you say you travel, so do you travel out of state, or is it mostly
Anywhere in the world.
Metro Detroit area? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So if you're having a party in Madrid, I can get to.
Okay.
All right. Well, he's Mr. International here.
Player with a passport.
Pretty much.
So, what's your favorite personal drink? Whiskey.
Okay. Whiskey.
You know what?
Right.
I had whiskey not too long ago for the first time, and I was thinking in my head I don't know about this, but I tried it. It wasn't too bad. It was pretty smooth.
What did you have?
I don't remember, but it was pretty smooth.
Yeah, whiskey is up and down for me. I just can't have too much whiskey.
Smooth.
Yeah, whiskey then vodka. Vodka is my absolute favorite outside of whiskey.
So, what's the difference between my job, we throw holiday parties, and they give us tickets for drinks, free drinks, but it's they say the well drinks or,
Well, that depends on what the well is. You can have the rock gut liquor, which is the $6 for a liter.
Okay.
Vodka and stuff like that. Yeah.
For a liter?
The liter.
Wow.
So it's the
very cheap.
Cheap. Okay.
Yeah.
You will wake up feeling terrible.
Oh, okay.
Okay, got it. Because I didn't feel nothing.
You wake up feeling horrible.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, and then you have.
Right.
Then it depends on some places their well. I was in Vegas at a casino, and their well was Jack Daniels, Bombay, Sky Vodka, and some other name brand stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And I found out companies actually pay money to be in the well.
Oh, really?
Wow, I didn't know that.
But if they don't, then you get in the 5 o'clock gym.
Oh, so it can be any.
It can be anything in the well. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
The best thing for you to do when you go to a place you have drink tickets is look and see what's in the well. Usually they have like pretty decent stuff, but some places not so much.
Not so much. Okay.
You know, you travel around the world. You say you can meet people anywhere around the world. I'm sure you've been to different like bars and different. You had your experience with that. So, what has been your experience?
Well, my experiences in different countries have been great.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Rome, we went to this one restaurant / bar that was awesome. The drinks they made us were great. You know, it's pretty much the same stuff anywhere you go. It's when you go to more of a craft place, like a martini place, that's when you start to get very interested. Case in point, it's this one place in Seattle called The Alchemist. This guy here, every drink he made us was amazing.
Okay. So what was it? Why was it amazing? It's just a technique or?
It was the flavor of the beverage. It was like, you know, I had stuff. I told him, said, look, use this liquor and make me something with it. And he came back and it was great.
Okay.
You know, it was no juice or nothing. It was just all this flavor and he used nothing but booze and different liqueurs.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so is that something that is more favorable to use other liqueurs versus like a juice?
Depends on what the person wants.
Okay.
You know, that particular bar, those bartenders, those bartenders were true mixologists.
Okay.
I mean, like when you see somebody pour a little bit of alcohol in a glass, switch it around, and throw it out, you're dealing with a professional. It's called a wash. You rinse the glass with something, and then it leaves the flavor of it in there, and then it infuses itself with the drink. And so there's a lot to it. This is also a place where I saw this thing called Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
Where they had it was a martini, and I think the martini was red or something. But they had the little what's the thing? They had a little glass dome.
Oh yeah, like the rose.
Filled with smoke. So when they brought it to the person, they lifted up. It was just smoke coming everywhere. I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Have you ever made one of those kind of drinks? Like, okay, I see stuff with food all the time on social media, like those weird drinks with like food or so. I seen something with some chicken before.
No, I don't
like
know.
you.
Oh,
yeah, I wouldn't even want it. But
yeah, that
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even want it. But
the
I'm just
extent
curious.
that I'll go is probably some black pepper or something, or oregano or some type of herb.
Some normal stuff.
Not
right.
Here's some normal stuff.
Right.
Throw a leg of lamb in your martini. Like,
I don't even drink that.
No, because I've been seeing some weird stuff, and I'll be like,
So you guys, another round. Definitely make sure you keep them in mind and hire them for your next event because the holidays are coming up. Anywho, let's jump on into our topic: real relationships versus situationships.
Interesting.
Very
interesting.
So just kind of defining that though. We say real relationships like and situationships because to me, relationships are relationships regardless if you put a title on it or anything. So, but when we talk about real relationships, meaning I guess when you have a boyfriend or girlfriend or some type of commitment versus situationship would be like, how would y'all define situationship?
I would say like really no real commitment, no real like no title, and really no real direction of where this thing is going. So that would be my actual definition of real situationship.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Just drifting along.
Yeah, just
doing whatever.
I'm just here so I don't get fired.
So I guess like with situationships, like when you said no real commitment, like what do you mean? Because I've seen people and heard different stories where people may not have a verbal commitment, but they have like an active commitment, if you will. And why I say active, because once somebody does something that the other person doesn't like or feel disrespected by it, say for example, if you have two people who are like having a situationship and the guy is mad at the woman because she went out with somebody to have lunch, and he's like, you know, but there's no commitment, but there's an active commitment. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. But there is never a verbal commitment. So when you say real, like, what do you mean by that? Like a real?
I feel like with that, that's confusing. You know, that's the situationship thing. It's confusing. No real commitment means like, you know, it wouldn't be confusing if it was like a real relationship. Like I don't want to. I've been in a situationship before.
Tell us more.
Right. You know, in a situationship, it was just like, it was very confusing, and it's like you would kind of step up and say things, and then the person, sometimes they'd be like, you know, we're not in a relationship. But
this
when
is not what we agreed on.
but when I did what I had, you know, to do, or, you know, act, you know, it's just like, you know, a person telling you like, oh, what, we're not together, but we do things like we are together. But when you actually get upset about something, and sometimes their true feelings come out like, look, we ain't together, and I'm, you know, and then when you step out and do something, they're upset. So sometimes it can get confusing because it's like, okay, wait, are we together or are we not together? And sometimes a lot of people they're just not clear on what's going on. And to me, that's a situationship. So.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, it is like cuffing season, if you will, you know. So with that, I think a lot of times people get into a situationship because it is getting cold, you know. People want to cuddle, you know, just
but that can get kind of crazy.
I mean, it definitely can, because me being a serial situationshipper, and I say that with pride because it's not because, anyway, I have my reasons, but I like to know exactly what I'm getting into before I even get into it. So, and maybe a commitment goal.
Your relationship stuff is kind of like Sam's Club.
First of all, don't even compare me to no dang go Sam's Club.
You go there on a Saturday and just get samples. Like, nope, I don't like that.
It isn't even like that. First of all,
define serial situation.
Serial meaning like, you know, that's what I do. I haven't really been often. No, because I haven't had. I can't say that there is a like. We had an actual will you be my girlfriend type of moment thing or whatever, but it has been where, you know, we like each other, we hanging out, I'm getting to know you, and we may do things like, you know, we are together, but it's not like a making it like that, you know, like it's not a we together for real. Because in actuality for me as well, I had to realize like, okay, you just don't want a relationship. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you did, you would have been in one. Because I am somebody who will do what I want. You know, if I want to do something, I'm gonna do it. But I will say within that situationship things where the times where I have had a situation in a situationship where I stayed past the expiration date. And I say expiration date is when the moment where you or whoever in the situationship feels like something, you're confused, that's when it's expired. That's how I feel. That's when it's time to go, because obviously at that point in time you want something completely different.
Yeah, I found myself in a situationship, and I was just like not myself.
It's the same one or it's different?
Same one.
It's okay to admit it.
I'm talking about the same one.
It is okay.
You said like it was a new one.
And I was just like really confused to the point where I was like, I felt like I was lost.
And that's
like I didn't know who I was as a person.
Yeah, I mean that's well before that, but but it can do that to you. You know what I'm saying?
It make you feel like I don't know, because certain things you just know you shouldn't deal with, but you end up dealing with it anyway because you be so like. You just be invested in that relationship.
And it's like, that's why I say past those expiration dates, because it's not fun anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of know who you're dealing with at this point in time. Right. So, but anytime I presented how I felt, you know, if I wanted to take it to further the relationship, you know, and if he felt otherwise, then either I would leave them alone immediately, meaning within the next few weeks or maybe a few months later.
Right.
But I definitely, will leave them alone and go our separate ways. But there has been a time where I did go past the expiration date. And it just was like to the point where you lose yourself and you confuse and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
so,
what about you? Let's
right, give us a guy point of view. We all, we're just listening, taking it all in, judging us.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging at all. I think people, shouldn't get into situationships because nobody listens. Here's what I mean. The guy doesn't listen to the girl doesn't listen to the guy. The guy says, yeah, I just want to have some fun, we just kick it. The girl's like, all right, cool, fine. Or the girl says that and the guy has the same response. As time moves on, probably a month or two, then somebody is about to get into their feelings because this is not what they originally wanted, but they agreed to it with the idea that, maybe it's going to change, which is false.
False.
Never changes.
I've done that before.
Everybody does.
It never changes. No, it never changes. That person is not going to change. I used to tell people all the time, like, listen, this is what it is. A lot of things are going to happen, but this is what it is.
Right.
And it's been times where people, you could have swore we was just booed up boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, no, it's not what it is.
But
I know how you feel at this point in time, but that's not what it is. Yeah.
I mean, with that being said, though, there is points in time, and I've done this, where if I see that I want a different page with that person, especially if the person is wanting more from me than I want from them, I will leave them alone, because my thing is, anything I do is going to lead you on. It's going to make you think something different, regardless of how many times you say it. It's like a lot of times I find with guys, they don't know, like, the actions got to be like, how when you driving a stick and you got foot on the gas or foot on the clutch, and you got to bring it to like an even exchange. They got to be the same. Like, you can't have more verbal saying one thing and you act in a completely different way, because either way, good or bad, it's you sending big signals and it's like leading somebody on.
Yeah, I've done that before. Like, I've dated someone, I didn't really like them, but I didn't lead them on either. I was just straightforward, like, you know what, like, we're not connecting,
But then
I didn't actually
how
say,
long did you date
I didn't even, after a few dates.
So was that like a month?
No, probably like within a month or so. I don't know. You know how you first start dating somebody, they want to see you all the time. So a few dates.
And that's a thing too. A lot of times I've noticed people in general, but with men, they want to rush everything and see so much at first. But you're a man.
So
I'm just saying. But the thing is like, that's where
we're trying to get to the know.
I get it. However,
it's so annoying.
Nah, man, listen. This is what it is. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
Don't rush me. That's how I feel.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay?
Like, look, everybody puts on their good face in the beginning.
Of course. That's why I want to
wait. I want to get to the weave off.
The who?
As fast as possible. I want to get to where the weave is off, where the makeup is off, where you're not looking like Michael Jackson from Thriller. I want to see you as you are. Like, I want to see you for who you are as fast as I can, because I might not like that person. This made up, dolled up mask that everybody has on.
But what if a person don't have like the makeup, all that dialed up stuff, whatever? What if they just build themselves from the get go?
Everybody wears a mask.
But you're gonna that person, just because you're boom 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 seeing you more often is not gonna reveal that person.
Right.
Because a lot of people are very good at that.
Most people can't keep that act up 24/7.
First of all, don't keep up an act. You get the guard first. So I'm be mean. Oh well, get back, make it past the guard. Then you're in good standings with me. But anyway,
that's how it is for me.
Moat. This
right, because there's a big prize in there.
Folks run around there
with piranhas and sharks. We starve them on a yearly basis. No, anyway, but
and rats from Applebee's.
Wait, what?
But no, seriously, like, regardless of how often you see somebody, that mask is still going to be there, because you have certain barriers just that people just put up. I mean, some things are going to come about if you pay attention, but a lot of times you have like people who are just, got the same goal. Like, I'm just trying to get something. So I'm gonna show you what you like, or want to manipulate the situation.
I cannot stand those, and I'm
So
on
the guy
it.
came up to you and was
I'm
like, that you liked or whatever, fit the whatever description that you want. It went straight to the point. Like, listen, I just need somebody to bang in the wintertime because it's cold. He says this to you.
Okay.
You accept that and then make your decision, or you be like, oh, I can't believe you said this to me. How disrespectful.
I won't get to the point where I'm like, oh, how disrespectful. I'm like, I like the fact that you're honest, but that's not where I'm
like
at.
Real life.
In
real life.
In real life. I be like, I'm not. That's not where I'm at. So. Yeah, I'm almost 30 years old.
So why be in a situationship? All a situationship is sex.
I'm not in one. I don't want to be in one.
Well, not really. Not my situationships.
I don't want to be in one.
Hang out, we go on dates.
That's a friend.
I'm learning you. But
That's a friend.
I don't kiss my friends.
Like, we go out, we have fun.
I don't kiss my
cool.
friends.
Like,
I don't.
I call you up at 4:00 in the morning. Like, let's go get some breakfast.
I don't kiss my friends. I don't, have physical activity with my friends like that.
So
that I would. It's a situationship. Or a lover. How about that? I have lovers.
There you go.
It's still a situationship when you look at it on the outside looking in. But I mean, whatever. I don't care. I'm accepting it, and that's the first step to moving on.
There you go.
But anywho, just within those situationships, it's 11 more steps, whatever.
I think I might end up in a situationship.
Why is that?
You on the break?
Because I don't want to, right now I'm on a complete break from relationships, whatever, situationships, whatever.
Okay.
But anyway, but once I start dating, I feel like I don't want to rush to put no label on things, but I just want to just take my time and just be clear on like what we want. I don't want to.
You have syllables?
No.
That's how I feel.
No.
Like
I just want to be clear. Like, yeah, you want kids, you want marriage. We can discuss those things, but I'm not rushing to do those things. I want it to be like just a connection, just flow. So I might end up in a situationship in the beginning and, maybe progress into something more. But as of right now, I don't want to label.
Yeah.
I don't want to put like a title on things or rush things.
So labels are funny anyway.
I can't really talk.
You're labeled.
No. No, it's, I met my wife.
Bling bling. Right.
At, what I mean, October of 2014. We got married June of 2015.
Right. Surprise!
That's what's up. Oh, was it a surprise?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, boom, married.
Like, oh.
We wasn't really even like dating. So here's how it happened. Like, we were at the.
It was a situationship.
That turned into
See, trying to be like y'all.
We were out. We hung out all the time. Enjoy each other's company. We were at this particular place, and had a bucket of beer. We were talking. Subject of marriage came up, and I said, "You know what? I can marry you."
I can marry you.
But,
that's what's up. Wait.
We were at a strip club having this conversation. So,
this was after how long?
this was like in January.
Oh, okay.
So just a few months.
Yeah, just a few months. Because like everybody else is like, there's always a doubt. It's like, I don't want to do that. Or her, was like, oh yeah, I can marry you. Easy. I marry you today.
I'm married today.
Let's go.
Then, what was it? St. Patrick's Day, I got overserved. And, I got on her last nerves because I was overserved. Then the following day, she was about to move or something. She was like, so what do you want to do? Like, you want to do this relationship thing or no? And I was like, well, yeah. And I meant it too, because I talked about it and I said it. She was trying to figure out if I was serious or not.
Right.
If I wasn't serious, then she was out.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I'm serious. June of 2015? I think it was like June 1st. I showed up to her job. I said, I need your ID and something else. I went to the city county building. I got the whatever that paper is that you got to apply for a marriage license. I came back to a job. I said, we have 30 days to make this happen. June 27th, we got married.
So what would you say? How sometimes they talk about how like a man knows exactly
That's true.
and this and that. But does that mean that he has to act on it immediately though?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't think people should be engaged for more than a year.
I don't think people should date for all this time that folks say, because people don't change. You know, the person that and I ask people this question all the time. You know, if this person that you're with would remain the same today, now, and forever, would you marry that person today?
Yes.
And if the answer to that question is anything other than yes, my next statement is, like I say, in that relationship today. Never lie. Why? Because you're waiting. The worst thing that you could do is wait and see. That's the absolute worst thing you can do to yourself, is to wait and see. Like, I want to wait and see what's going to happen, because you got doubts. Right. You got questions that are not being answered, that are never going to be answered. The worst is going to happen, and you were going to be like, oh, I wasted my time, blah, blah, blah. No, you knew better. You knew this 5 months ago, but you chose to be naive and like, oh, I want to give this person a chance. When in reality, you were just afraid of being by yourself again. And this whole idea of starting over is another terrible thought that people have. Like, well, we've been together for 2 years. I don't really want to start over. Like, you want to start over in something that's better, or you want to spend a lifetime of horrible filth?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta take a little account for yourself real quick. You know, you want to keep doing this erroneous behavior, or you're gonna take some personal responsibility and get your act together and cut this dead weight off, so you can make room for something that's better, that's actually going to fit you.
That's where I'm at in life right now. Yep. So I had to take a step back and just get myself together before I step into anything else. And I'm hoping that whoever I step into something with, they got themselves together. But of course, I will pay attention to those signs in advance. So
if there's any doubt,
I'm gonna be married like you.
Yeah, if there's any doubt, don't do it.
Right.
End it immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Some great advice.
Yeah, because it's not fun anymore. I mean, yeah, I'm all about fun. Life is supposed to be fun. Yeah, you have to take things serious, but if it's not fun, I mean, you go through things, any relationship, but if it's genuinely you're not happy just because you're not making yourself happy, not because somebody else is making you happy, it's like, yeah, why? No,
you need to be happy first.
Yeah, be happy with you being happy. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in a situationship where I couldn't even make me happy anymore. Like, who is that? Oh, that's me in the reflection in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was a problem because I stayed beyond the expiration date. Like, once I saw, like, I mean, it was like one of these, like up in here, where it like kind of pull you from the gut.
It's small.
That's the worst.
No, that's not small.
Right, yeah. But I stayed.
A video with I think it was either Will or Jada, but I think it was Will, and he was saying that actually Jada.
Yeah.
But she was saying that, you know, in their marriage, they end up having issues, and it was because they were always looking for someone to make them, you know, the other person to make them happy.
Right.
And it was like, you got to make yourself happy first. And it's like, you got to, you know, continue to do the things that you usually do. Like, you know, be around your friends.
Yeah.
And, you know, just enjoy, you know, be your own person. Right. You know, you can't just get in a relationship and stop doing the things that you enjoy because of your partner.
Right, yeah.
You know, you have to be separate and, you know, come together. So that really stuck with me, and I'm like, when I end up in another relationship, I'm gonna take that with me. It's very important to not lose yourself.
You end up. That's like, is that like a game of chance?
Stupid.
You said if I end up like,
okay,
it's
look,
a coin toss.
I'm going through this phase where I'm like, no, and then I'm at this phase where I'm like, well, he cool. Right. He cool. You know, he really like me. He cool, but I don't know about that.
I'm serious.
I'm in between.
That's how me and my wife make a lot of decisions with a coin flip.
Coin toss.
Do that.
We furnish our home from a flip a coin. We decide where we're going to go for vacation by flipping a coin.
That makes life a lot easier.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay, well, you know, let me go here.
Just do it. Flip the coin.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, that's funny.
With that being said, I feel like the most important thing when it comes to like real relationships and situationships is communication.
Oh yeah.
Proper communication, like seriously, being clear on what you want, what you don't want, instead of just playing games. Even if it's a situationship and y'all just want to have sex, just be open and comfortable with just, you know, doing that.
See,
and just being
situationship.
open with, you know.
Gotta see one thing.
Go ahead.
A situationship isn't always just about sex.
So you have relationships
Because
with people then.
because I feel like a situationship is not only you could be having sex with the person, but it's more so time that you spend with the person. Like you know, you're going out, you're hanging out. You know, I mean, of course, the sex part of it kind of makes it consummated of a situationship, or if you're doing intimate things together, but you have, you know, you don't know where it's going. It's a situationship. Some people might say it's dating. I don't know, but you can still have fun in situationships.
You got Netflix and chill with breakfast in the morning.
I'm having
with the right person. Look, no, but I'm sorry. I just wanted to make that clear. Anyway.
So, when a situationship first started, do you get them a birthday gift, Christmas gift?
I mean, I'm a lover. Right.
You see the text message, like, happy birthday, dog.
Well, I'm a lover, and depending on where it is.
That's what you do.
It depends on where it is.
Flipping a coin.
Hey, I was thinking about you. Happy birthday.
And how I'm
HBD.
feeling you. And how I'm feeling you. And what it is, how we are. You might get a gift. You might get a cake. You might get something. Because that's just me. I'm a lover, and I love people.
You know, me
But
and my
I
wife
know
still
everybody
don't give
does
each
it.
other Christmas gifts.
Still don't?
Y'all don't celebrate, or you just don't?
Oh, we usually go somewhere, but like actual present.
Yeah.
Never giving each other Christmas
I mean, but that's
I'd
something.
rather go somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends. That's like communicating. Being with somebody who's okay with that. You know, if you know you somebody who feels like I need a gift for every single occasion there is to get a gift for, don't be with somebody who is not, you know, into it like that, or who isn't going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Even something as simple as if you like to cuddle, or if you like somebody who does things for you. To marry somebody who doesn't ever to like to cuddle is like, or even be in a relationship with them, it's really not gonna work. It's gonna cause conflict.
Right.
So, I mean, that communication part, as far as like bringing it all together with clarifying what it is that you want, what you deserve, knowing that, communicate with yourself. Shoot, talk to yourself.
Talk to yourself. Like, do I want to deal with this? Is this for me? And if
Not
not,
walking down the street, people think you're crazy.
Do it while you walking down the street. That's your security, so why not? So, with all of that, coming to portion where we have our question. We don't have our jar, but we got a good question.
So,
What's the question?
name one embarrassing moment that you have ever had?
Me and my wife were coming out of this bar, and we had some pizza, and I decided to do something a little interesting. But what I did not realize were people were outside. So when I got outside and I saw the people, I panicked and I dropped the pizza. So I guess that could be an embarrassing moment.
Yeah.
For me personally, my daughter, she was in daycare, and you know, we walk in, a lot of kids, they scream, "Mommy, Daddy," like to a random parent.
Mm-hmm.
So we were out in Target one day, and she seen a couple, and she go, "Daddy," and so him and his wife looking at me like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow. Like, no.
I'm like, right. I'm like, I'm sorry. She's in
wow.
Like, she's in school and she's just used to, if she see a guy, and that's just what she do. I was so embarrassed though. Like, no, I'm not. I don't know him.
Right. The wife about to beat you up. Like, what's that? First of all.
Start clapping and everything.
Right.
I only got away with it because they were Caucasian.
Yeah, they do that anyway.
I'm like, okay. She is like,
I was in the clear. She looks nothing like him.
Melanin was in there. It would have been a situation.
Could be. But, you know, just to bring it all, tie it all together. In a bow with some sprinkles on it. If you in whatever relationship that you are in, make sure that you are clear about it. Think about the other people's feelings. Think about your feelings. What makes you happy? And then, you know, do the right thing, like Spike Lee said. Anywho, we have our guest co-host again, Randy Ealy of Another Round. Tell the people how to contact you all.
Well, you can reach out to us on Instagram at _round bartending. And let us know about your function. We'll get back to you in a very timely fashion, and we'll get you drunk.
Get you drunk. All right, you heard it. Another _round bartending on Instagram and Veronica.
Push to empower. Leave your comments below on what you think about tonight's episode. Peace.
Hold up.
Way.